Imagine you did it. You Marie Kondoed your entire life. You held everything an item, asked if it sparked joy, and now you're left with only the things that you truly love. So why does it still feel like you're losing a game of Tetris with your own apartment? What happens when all your cherished belongings just don't fit in your tiny space? If you ever felt like you followed the rules perfectly, but the minimalist magic still didn't happen, you're not broken. You're just using a map that isn't yours. Let's find the one that is. Picture this. I'm surrounded here by moving boxes in our tiny apartment in Berlin, and we're packing right now for our big move to Spain. And we have been downsizing like crazy since ever, and even though I've tried to apply every decluttering rule for this exact situation, I'm still looking around everywhere and wonder, how do I still have so much stuff? And that was the moment I realized the problem wasn't my stuff. It was the one-size-fits-all advice I've been following. So today I want to hand you 4 different methods that work because they not just match your personality, but they match your specific life situation. So I'm not big on labels, but these 3 keep popping up in my inbox and also when I look in the mirror. The first one is the overwhelmed procrastinator. You start and then it feels like the room actually multiplies socks while you blink. You tell yourself you're finished tonight, but by 9 p.m. the couch wins. And then we have the Sentimental Saver. For this person, every ticket stub is a memory grenade. The sweater your mom wore to your wedding, 2 sizes too big, holes in the elbow, and yet how could you ever toss it? And then the third one is the Aspirational Minimalist. This person saves every Pinterest board titled Serene White Spaces. But your house, however, looks like the boards had a baby with a toy avalanche. Letting go feels betraying your fantasy self. So take a second, ask yourself, no judgment, which one of these 3 personality types feels like you, which one feels like your home. So these are the 3 different types of people who want to get organized. And for every of these types, there's a different method that actually fits. Method 1 is for the Aspirational Minimalist and is a total reset. And this is the famous KonMari method. Its core question is, does it spark joy? And it's perfect for the Aspirational Minimalist. Why? Because you aren't just getting rid of things, you are actively curating the life you dream about. And this method works for your personality because it's a grand, transformative event, a festival, and not a slow, boring chore. It asks you to pull everything into one giant pile, forcing you to confront the gap between your reality and your vision. And by making you choose items based on the feeling of joy, it connects every decision to that future Pinterest perfect self you want to be, and making it feel less like a sacrifice and more like an upgrade. Method 2 is for the procrastinators amongst us and people who like daily tidying. And this is Dana K. White's method and the so-called no mess process. It's really perfect for the overwhelmed procrastinator because its number 1 rule is not to make a bigger mess. And that initial wave of panic that makes you shut down is just not there. The method avoids it entirely. Instead of facing a mountain, you handle one item at a time with one simple question. Where would I look for the first? And this bypasses decision fatigue because there's no emotional debate, just a practical action. So for a procrastinator, this creates forward momentum without the risk of hitting a wall of overwhelm, turning a dreaded project into a series of small and manageable wins. And the third method is for our sentimentalists and people who have really major life changes. And the method for them is the Swedish death cleaning. And it's a really gentle, but at the same time powerful fit for our beloved Sentimental Saver. Because the spark joy question from the KonMari method often fails you, because every sentimental item holds a memory and therefore somehow also a spark for you. And this method reframes the decision by shifting your focus from your own attachment to the legacy you leave for others. So you ask, will this be a treasure or a headache for the people I love? And this works because it taps into a different, often stronger emotion. And that's your love and consideration for your family. And I promise you 4 methods, so I have a final rule for everyone for maintaining balance. After the big purge, how do you keep the clutter from creeping back in? And this is the 1 in, 1 out rule. It's the golden rule for anyone living in a small apartment or simply trying to maintain balance. And the rule is simple. Every time a new item comes in, a similar item must go out. New throw pillar, old one goes to the animal shelter. Birthday toys, same number out the door next week. Your curated life grows slowly, no guilt, no purge-a-thons. So Here's what I know after years as a certified organizer and exactly one international move with 2 kids. The method that works is the one you actually do. So tell me, are you the procrastinator, the saver, or are you the dreamer? Drop in the comments, and if you want the step-by-step checklist I used to cut our stuff by half before we moved, I direct message you the link. Happy letting go, you got this.